Hello, everyone. My name is Cutie, and we are continuing along in our special event, Platformers Paradise. Now we are doing a showcase of Symphonia, which is a new platformer, and we're doing this in conjunction with our friends over at Head Up and Sunny Peak. We actually have one of the developers here with us on comms, so you'll get to hear directly from the makers of the game a little bit during the runs here. But Symphonia is kind of a side-scrolling platformer. There is no emphasis on combat, so it's really colorful, it's really interesting, and as you can tell from the screen, very much based in music. And I personally really enjoyed running this game. I was one of the first runners when the game first came out. I love it myself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Bring in Horizon, who is the current world record holder for this category, new game. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. And then also on comms, I don't want to skip the introductions here. Cold Nexian is also the developer, one of the developers of Symphonia here from Sunny Peak. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Doing great. And as I mentioned before we went to break, we do have runners and commentators from around the world, South America, Europe, and the US. So I'm thankful that you were able to join us. I know it's quite late where you are.
Yeah, it's quite all right. I'm very excited to be here with all these amazing people running the game, and it's quite surreal for me.
Well, awesome. If anyone wants to give kind of a quick introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about what we can expect to see here. And then, of course, Cold, if you want to go into any of the development background of the history, I know this started as kind of a student project at one point. Absolutely want to hear some of that, too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to share it with you.
Hey guys, my name is Horizon. I'm pretty new to speedrunning in general, let alone being in GDQ. I think, to put it bluntly, Qity just found me in a ditch next to the Symphonia server, just watching me speedrun this one normal run category. So he was the best I could find. I was the best he could find.
No, not at all. You are the world record holder. You've been grinding this for the last week or so, which I so appreciate. And for anyone who is listening, the Symphonia Discord community is amazing. There are a lot of active runners and individuals in there who are finding skips every single day. It's a relatively new game, so these categories and routes and things are subject to change. And if you enjoy platformers and this looks like something you want to play, we're going to talk about where you can find it a little bit later, but it is now on PC and many other platforms and coming to Switch soon. So definitely check it out and get into the community. It's quite a lot. It shares a lot of DNA with Celeste and some other games you've seen today, so I think you'll really enjoy it. But I don't want to keep the people waiting, so why don't we go ahead and start the run, and we'll just talk while you're playing it.
Coolio. All right, we're doing normal, and we're gonna start 3, 2, 1, now.
Good luck.
Have fun.
All right. Thank you.
And for anyone interested in the categories, we do have 3 categories. We'll actually be showcasing all 3 today. First one is new game. So this is basically playing the game, quote unquote, as intended with normal progression. There's lots of abilities and things you unlock during the game. And then the next category, we're going to have a race of New Game Plus, where you start with some of those abilities and it lets you do some different things. And then the last is going to be an experimental run, what we call assists or assisted, where you have all kinds of fun little settings you can play with in the menu, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yep, that's with the New Game Plus, but for this game, you can technically access those any abilities that you've unlocked in any other game, but for this, God, I really love the art direction already. I say that like this is my first time playing it, but so yeah. You weren't playing into the microphone, dingus. Anyways,
So yes, there are a lot of cutscenes that you can skip for the game. Some of them are skippable, but there are quite a few that you will have to deal with.
Yeah, the big ones are skippable. The little ones that are interspersed with the gameplay aren't. I think that's for the best. Anyways, we're gonna try and get the double jump ability, and that'll be pretty much the only ability we have on us for the rest of the run.
Yeah, because that's quite a lot to the run to have the double jump ability, and I think the time you lose to do the room will give you so much time gain for the rest of the run.
Do we want to talk a little bit about the momentum mechanics? Because that's personally my favorite part in terms of the gameplay of trying to maintain your momentum as you're bouncing with the... correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not the most musically adept person, but it's a violin, right?
Yeah,
it's a violin.
It is, and Philemon, the character you are seeing right now, is using its violin bow to bounce from the ground. And yeah, basically, it's just a mechanic that where you can just build up your momentum after each bounce from the ground, and you can keep up going as long as you don't have anything to stop you.
There we go. I was a little distracted for a moment. Let's try and... Oh! That's our first death of the run. Starting off very strong.
And as a reminder, this game is still very new, so all of the runners are still, learning and getting accustomed to it. Horizon here has actually managed to get the record down by a few minutes over the last week, so we'll see what ends up happening here. But don't expect the runs to be quite as polished as Celeste, which has been around for a number of years. So there will be deaths. That's all perfectly fine.
Yeah. For this run, I'm going to try and break my official personal best, which is the one that's currently on speedrun.com as the world record for normal 90%.
Now, I alluded to it a little earlier, and some of the runners that we have coming up have actually been playing this game since it was a student project. And as you may remember, Celeste had somewhat similar origins, where I believe it came out of a game jam. Cole, do you want to tell us a little bit about the history of this game, how it developed, why it came to be, where the love of music and everything plays into it? Like, just give us a little bit of a flavor of how we got here.
Yeah, for sure. As you said it, Symphonia was a student project at first, specifically a graduation project, because we all come from the same university in France. And at first, you could say the musical part, etc., will come first. But to tell the truth, it was a gameplay idea that we had first in mind. The fact that you can use a spear or something to bounce from the ground and to stick on cushions. Then we had the idea to implement the musical orchestra theme around it.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So is this like a live recording, or are some of the instruments real, some are digital, or is it all digital?
For the student project, this was all digital because we didn't have time for this. We had around 6 or 8 months. But for the full version of it, we had them recorded live, as well as for the music.
That must have been a nightmare to do. Hats off.
Yeah, it was quite a huge deal to get everything ready, to organize all of the musicians, etc. But I think it's quite a nice addition to the game.
And Horizon, if my memory serves, I believe you were transposing some of that music in the Discord. So you want to...
Oh, yeah.
Share a little bit about what brought you over here on the musical side.
So I've been composing for the past 4 years, and that's been what I've been trying to get into. Some friends in a server told me about this game because I think I already knew about it, but they invited me to... well, they didn't invite me to get it. They encouraged me to get it once it was coming out because I had such a love for music and a lot of experience with composing and transposing music ROM and for video games. And then they all made fun of how bad I was at playing, and I started speedrunning just out of spite.
That was the origin story. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
And we should take a second to talk about what's going on here. So as you find memory fragments, we just saw all berries. Memory fragments are sort of a version of that here, where you can collect them through different challenge rooms. And as you collect a certain number, you unlock new abilities and new settings. So for the purpose of new game, we collect 1 to be able to unlock the double jump. And you saw a lot of different setting options in the menu there because the unlocks are persistent across playthroughs, and that's how we're going to see the new game plus and the assists later on. But for this category in particular, we go out of the way to collect 1 just because it is the new game category.
Yeah.
And here we are into the Arboretum.
Yeah, you gotta build, like you said, with building up the momentum, sometimes you forget to do that. There we go.
Yeah, some rooms are way faster to do if you build up momentum beforehand, but it's at your own risk.
Yep. So this game, because the record obviously hasn't been optimized, I can speak from experience. Oh no.
The first one.
That was a bug.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very frequently. I only came across it once in the several hours I've been doing that. It's the case for a lot of new games. Specifically for this, the problem was just that the game got stuck trying to move to the next room. It's very infrequent, but it does happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does. We've been doing a lot of tests so far since the game is out to try to find the origin and fix those bugs. Sorry, but the game has been out only a month and a half, and part of the team are taking a well-deserved break after the long stretch we had to finish the game.
Yeah.
But we are sorry that some annoying bugs are still around.
Yep. I think the game plays very well in spite of those flaws. And as for that one bug, a few other guys were warning me about it, and it did happen, but only happened once. I was fairly certain that this wouldn't have happened on the stream. I apologize.
Oh, not at all.
It's not your fault at all.
And also,
Yeah.
every game comes with bugs. I mean, you can have 500 people working on a game and it's still going to have bugs. So that's, it's going to get fixed over time. We're not going to worry about it too much. And some of those bugs, if they're kept in, they might become speedrunning features. Who knows, as we figure out more things in the game.
Yep. We'll see what we find out with this game down the line.
I'm seeing some new skips I didn't see before, so that's quite cool.
Horizon's been putting in, a lot of people have been putting in a decent amount of work, but specifically Horizon's been running this category quite a bit this week.
Yeah, I saw that. I've taken a look around, but I didn't check that much because I wanted to keep it to keep some of the section a surprise.
Yeah.
I always love the dynamic of runner and developer, where you have the one person trying to break the game, and then you have one person who built the game, and you're like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you try to somehow to just anticipate what the player will do, you will always have some surprises waiting for you at the end.
Sorry, I have the stream chat on my phone right now, and someone just said, "This ain't Tales of Symphonia."
Yeah, don't worry about stream chat. I got you. I'm keeping an eye on it.
All right. Tell me when
you.
something fun happens. My bad.
No, not at all. You're getting a lot of love in chat. That's what you should know.
That's good. I'll just turn my phone off. This happens because this is no fast way around this, unfortunately. Because
this is
weird
quite
bug dude stole your bow.
Yes, this is quite a rigged section because the trickster, the NPC you saw before, just took away all of Philemon's abilities except for the jump ability. So you just have to deal with it and just play around safely and nicely.
Yep.
When it comes to the character designs and the characters, you mentioned the trickster, and there's another one that kind of plays with time later. There's a king. Is there any special design qualities or lore or anything that you were trying to capture with how you brought the characters into the game?
Yeah, we tried to. At first, we wanted to just establish the main ideas for the world for each big part of the game. The section we are currently in is the Woodwinds area. And we wanted to have at least one character for each big area to represent them and to be able to play concert with them. So we tried to build their personalities and character design around the philosophy of for the levels. So I'm quite happy with the result for all of them, and I think the Trickster might be one of my favorites. Sorry. Alongside with the Bandmaster that you saw at the very beginning of the game, the one that bring the Mask of Philemon for the revival.
Yeah, Bandmaster, the dude with the Beethoven wig.
Yeah, I like him quite a lot.
Yeah, I think all the character designs in this are really, really good. Like, I really enjoy character design that's like ambiguous, and I guess in some cases like androgynous, because I think it makes it really easy to interpret a character and see yourself in them.
Yeah, especially even though they are automatons, so we didn't want to just add too many gender specifics around them. So because they are just robots at the end.
One thing when I was running this that I really enjoyed is kind of how, especially the violin, when you get into a groove and some of the other sound effects, it starts to sound almost like a metronome. Was that intentionally done?
Not at first. It was quite after when we started to play the game and try it fast, or when we handled the game to some people, that we found out that it has quite
I didn't know Philemon was that ugly. I'm kidding.
But yeah, it was not quite intended at first.
Sorry, go ahead, Cold.
My bad.
Oh, no, I finished. No worries.
That part's the hardest, because you got the spears going by.
Yeah, I think this skip is possible without the double jump, but you have to time it with the wind column.
Certainly.
So
I think the double jump would definitely be a stay in the normal run.
I like, Cold, how you're kind of talking almost in speedrunner lingo. Now that you've kind of been around us for a little bit for this past week, do you think you might speedrun something yourself, maybe even this game?
I mean, I've never been quite into speedrunning as a runner, of course, because I've always been a watcher from far behind. I enjoyed, and some of the other members of the team enjoyed as well. Watch a lot of speedrunnings, but I don't think I never get into any speedrun on any games. Maybe Katana Zero for some reason, but yeah, I think the only one that I speedrun kind of speedrun is Symphonia, because I had to try the game over and over and over.
Got it. I imagine speedrunning your own game is like hearing a recording of your own voice,
Yeah.
It's like all the very minor flaws that no one else would notice.
Even though I know a lot of details about the level design, etc. It's quite fascinating to see people crush your own personal record with just practice.
I think.
Are there-
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I think there are a lot of like. I think the unintentional routes are very fun to do. And I think as a speedrunner, you just generally want to go for those routes. So
Yeah.
it's very nice that like the unintentional stuff isn't just like very annoying to pull off glitches. For now.
I was going to ask, as the developer and somebody who's played this game quickly, are there any glitches, bugs, or other things that maybe we haven't found yet we should know about? Like, while you're here, we got to get the good, juicy details.
I mean, there are not a lot of big bugs or exploits you can use in a run. You have some very big bugs that we fixed since the release that are quite annoying, but I've never seen any that could have been very bad for just skipping wall section, etc. So I don't have that many juicy details because all the intended skip we've been making for the level design has been discovered and beyond, far beyond that. But yeah, maybe I think somewhere else we will find some other bugs in the future. We'll see.
Okay, if you start getting some bug reports, just slip those under the table to us, and we'll go from there. You'll have complete deniability. We won't tell anyone. Okay.
Yeah.
But be warned, I will fix the ones that will ruin the experience for the normal players.
Yes, of course. I'm just teasing.
But we are not trying to fix the bugs that are too finicky to reproduce and that can help runners. That's not our own intention here.
The worry I had when I got the bug on stream was that I was gonna have my kneecaps broken by the production team for having that be people's first impression, obviously.
No.
It happens, doesn't it?
Sorry, I had those doubts.
And so we should talk a little bit about what's going on here. If you've played, a Zelda game, Ocarina of Time, something like that, our musical abilities do let us do a little bit of other things. So this is kind of the equivalent of a fast travel system.
Someone whose name I lost in my head just now found that bug just and showed it to me just this morning, actually, as I was getting ready. If you leave the room with the other prodigy, then it skips the animation of them going to the room where they all meet up when you find them all and bring them back.
Was it Rising Star?
So that's why I came back and he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Was it Rising Star? Maybe, I think.
Yeah, I think Rising Star is right now going through and playing through with toying with TASing it and some other things. Wolf is teasing in chat that maybe the devs haven't seen the latest skip that they discovered.
Yeah, I haven't taken a look yet, so I just review it tomorrow.
And this is our first kind of new ability after the double jump, the twirl, which lets you kind of maintain momentum in the air, but also you get to move some platforms with it, so it has some really interesting dynamics.
These two are the real game changers for the rest of the run. You pull off some really great runs with both these combined.
Yeah, I kind of like the twirl ability too.
Did I say runs instead of jumps?
Yeah.
My bad. Oops.
Hi.
And I'll try and jump like this, like that, so you skip the drum. Of course, I didn't use the twirl, but whatever.
And I love that.
And here's our second prodigy.
Yeah, that's the name of them.
Yep, this is Matriach right here. She's playing the cello.
And I love that the game just really focuses, because you were talking about it being live recorded, focuses on kind of the music and the artwork. And then we talked about kind of you get into the rhythm with the violin, and you just, I don't know, when I was playing this, you get this really kind of cool, calming, even though you're speedrunning, I call it calming, but this kind of calming flow where you're just kind of listening to the music, you've got the metronome going, and it's just like really, really it's smooth and enjoyable and relaxing, even as a runner.
Yeah. Something I wanted to mention earlier, and I think now's a good time to bring it up, is how there's no real spoken dialogue or even like dialogue boxes in this entire game. All the characters and everything they express is sort of told through their body language and the music itself. And I think it's like very similar to a ballet, which I can't really say about, which I haven't really said about any game before. Despite, how many games obviously don't have dialogue. But here it really feels like it's taking advantage of that way of storytelling to create this musical atmosphere that really works for what the game's trying to do.
Yeah, it was quite hard to pull this off and keeping it understandable for the players, what we are trying to convey, etc. So it was quite hard to just not use too many text to just tell what's going on. But I'm glad we somehow pulled it off, even though we are not 100% happy with the result.
I believe Cutie was talking before about my background in music, and I was planning on elaborating on my thoughts on the soundtrack, but it's really, really good. There's more.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think the way it emulates classical music, I think it does it better than any other soundtrack I've seen, because even with orchestral soundtracks be it like Final Fantasy or other stuff, there's still always going to be that the rock influence or the jazz influence or folk influence when it comes to the composition in of itself. But all the music in this, you could totally convince me, was written either in like the late 19th or early 20th century by classical composers. So
it was. No, go ahead.
I think the last time I've heard a video game soundtrack that was able to emulate like this style of music so perfectly was when I played Cuphead half a decade ago.
Which we happened to have on the show about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I think this game really stands toe-to-toe with it.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to us. But yeah, we are quite happy to see the great reception the people have been made around the gameplay, the art, and all the music, etc.
Yep. I think generally speaking, I'm making overall good pace.
Yeah, no, you're moving.
Yeah, I think you're doing great. You died just a few times from here, so it's quite good.
Yep. And that was the thing earlier. It's like hard to focus on like small optimizations in a game where even like the record holder is like constantly dying. Well, maybe not constantly, but just like still dying.
Yeah, I'd say the game has a lot of micro optimization. It can be quite exhausting. Plus, it's quite a long speed run. Just a little bit under an hour is still quite a big run.
The other two who you're sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, Chad is asking if we could explain some of the mechanics a little bit more in depth. So we've seen you going through some of the ropes. There was some meteorites, for lack of a better term, falling stars, or things that could have hit you as you were running. Obviously, spikes are deadly. You never want to touch spikes. The red, I assume they're couches? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Cushions,
So the cushions, like, they rotate whenever you press Y to twirl, which is the feature that we got at the beginning of this, I'd say stage at least. And yeah, they are what encourage you to use it at the start, apart from, the platforms that you can only, without the double jump, can only get over using the twirl.
Yeah, so you can catapult off of all of the cushions, and you can choose your direction, usually up, down, left, right. Some of the cushions you can see like on this platform or, around all the directions. And so there's a lot of different freedom in what routes you take. You can go to the left, you can go on the side like that. You could go on the top and shoot to the right. And then, of course, you're trying to maintain your momentum throughout. These kind of golden bars are like slides, basically. And then, of course, you have the ropes where you bounce back and forth. And then as we get more abilities, the twirl, the double jump, etc., it's all about just maintaining that momentum and moving as quickly as possible. So if you ever stop or turn around, you start to lose some of that momentum. But if you can maintain it, you fly through some of these rooms in ways that, I mean, you can tell me, but in ways that may not have been intended.
It was kind of, but we had some issues with the transition of the rooms because there is no pausing when you go from one room to another. So you can go very very fast, but sometimes you can't see what's going ahead. So
that was close.
Oh yes, that was close. Good job.
This is my first time, like I said earlier. Oh dear.
Oops.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, you saved it.
Cost me like 10 seconds.
Don't worry about
15
that.
there. Like I said, this is my first time doing a run on GDQ. Speedrunning has never been like something I was super passionate about, but it's always been something in the back of my mind. Especially when I play games like Mario Maker and all that. And who knows, maybe this game would be a calling of mine to try and speedrun more often. See if I ever manage to make it back to GDQ.
To be completely honest, I felt the same way when I first started. I loved watching the main events, but some of the kind of, let's call it pixel perfect and different things did intimidate me. And one of the things we try to demystify a little bit here on Hotfix is like, you don't have to be going for world records to enjoy speedrunning. You can be, learning the game, learning a different way to play games. That's one of my most fascinating parts is it's a different way to engage with games. But then also like, it's about the persistence in kind of like almost Soulsian way, like the persistence of getting better, of learning, of every run makes you just a little bit better. And so I happened to just pick it up a couple of years ago myself, actually, and then, here we are today. So if anyone is out there who's interested in speedrunning, especially coming off of AGDQ, this is actually a great game to get into for that, but it's also a great game to play casually. But if you've ever been interested in speedrunning, it's very easy to access. You can definitely do shorter games. You can do, especially like NES, SNES games are a lot shorter. So try not to be intimidated by it. If you enjoy it, give it a try. And then, hopefully Horizon, you've been having fun with it and you'll stick around a little bit.
My best advice for people trying to get into GDQ as someone with no professionality when it comes to it is just like figure out what games are brand new and start there, because not only are you starting fresh in a community with pretty little competition, where you can sort of start getting the ball rolling. You're also helping a game with a smaller audience gain traction and help with that.
And routing is routing a game, i.e. figuring out what the fastest way or way to skip things and stuff is a really, for me, it's kind of like solving a puzzle, even if you are more on that puzzle solving side than maybe the execution side. We talked a little bit about somebody who's been playing around with this game looking for things. I find that piece really interesting. So being a part of a newer community, you get to kind of be like, oh, is it faster to build my momentum in this room, or should I try to twirl through this thing, or which direction on the couch or the cushion should I take. And that's something that is going on right now in the Symphonia community, is just trying to figure out how is each room, how can we do it a little bit faster? Is there anything, is it better to, there's actually an active discussion around, is it better to get the double jump or not at the beginning? Could we save that 30 seconds and not need it if we route things a little bit more technically? So there's a lot of that going on right now in the Discord. So if that's something you enjoy, definitely stop by and check that out, because it's a pretty active Discording community trying to figure out all of these things right now.
The answer to that first question, by the way, is yes, you need the double jump.
We know what side of the fence you're on.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to mention it earlier, but one of the things I do love about that Discord is that, you know, developers like yourself are in there and are part of it. It's not just a speedrunning Discord, it's for the whole game, but like that you've taken the opportunity to embrace the community and kind of look at what we're doing and look at like how we're playing the game and really kind of take that into account. Because not all, I've definitely seen some developers who are like, oh, we just use speedrunners as like beta testers.
Oh no! Almost a nice save.
Oh, that would have been so sick if I...
It would have been so sick.
Anyways. I'm glad I attempted that at least.
But yeah, it was very important for us to exchange a lot with the community, and especially with the runners as well, because we wanted a little bit the game to be runner friendly. So yeah, I'm very happy to see people enjoying the game, making reports on bugs they are finding, or just sharing new tech and new paths they are discovering, etc. So I'm very happy to see the community just exchange, and it means a lot to us to just have the direct feedbacks.
And for any developers who happen to be in the audience, little thing that you can do to make your game speedrun funny. You see the in-game timer at the top left? That makes it so much easier to run a game you have no idea. So please put that as an option in all of your future games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not useful for all type of games. I mean, for games like Ace Attorney might not be very useful, but for action games like this, it can be quite.
Speaking of future games, I believe this is like your studio's first, like your debut game.
It is actually, yeah.
It's very impressive in that regard.
Thank you very much. Yeah, considering it was at first a student project, a graduation project, to be more precise, we are quite happy about the result. So it was very intimidating because we had a lot of we put ourselves on a lot of pressure because the student game had a great reception. So we are very happy to just have the game released and come to life after all this year of development.
You got any other projects in mind?
Yeah, we started a new one a few months ago. We are very early in the process, so I won't share many details yet. But I can say that we still want to keep it in.
Getting the ball rolling on a new game, like during the last month crunch of a different game.
It was quite like that because as a designer, I had less work to put for the end of the production. So I was just more focused on bug fixing, find new bugs, running a game over and over, getting certification left and right, etc. But we just started to work on a new prototype for the new game at the same time that we released Symphonia.
Are you able to, let's not say leak, but you're able to tell us, is it currently planned to be a direct sequel, or are you working on something completely different?
It may be related somehow. I won't say directly, but it is related. I won't say how yet.
Okay. Got any DLC plans?
I can't share it. I can't share that yet, but I don't think there will be any for the time being.
Alright, that's fine.
We still plan to make some updates fixing bugs left and right, minor issues, and do some tweaking on the minor tweaking on the level design. But yeah, we don't have plans yet to make it.
By the way, of course, this isn't any percent run, so I'm like skipping through as much as I possibly can for this run. But just so everyone knows, there's like a lot more to this game to check out, a lot of rooms for stuff in it. There's a lot of replay value that goes into it, and if you even want to get an idea, I haven't even 100% of this game yet.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I thought so.
That's surprise.
Like, that just goes to show, I think. So, like,
and for reference, we did have like an all-berry Celeste run. There are categories for that here on Symphonia. I'm not sure if anyone is actively running those just yet. We are still figuring out kind of the base categories before going for the 100%. But that is in the game's future, where if you like something like all red berries, like we're gonna have the equivalent of that for Symphonia as well.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of different categories that runners can go for. I mean, there is any portion, there is any percent New Game Plus, there is assist mode that you can activate or deactivate, etc. So
that sound effect, by the way, sounds like the piano saying "uh-oh."
yeah, that was quite the intention behind it.
Smart.
And when it comes to the art style, it's a very unique art style, kind of the foreground, background, and just like how it's been developed. Is there any particular background to how you designed the artwork and how that came to be?
We use a process that is commonly used in the development,
right,
at least for Unity
time.
games.
Wait,
Yeah.
And boom.
And good job! Woo! Yeah, so we use a common technique used for game made in Unity. We just create a bunch of assets. It's like a sprite, 2D sprites in Photoshop or other software like this, and we assemble them in Unity in a room. When we just put them left and right, we match them on, etc., and we create a room like this. We have different layers going on, so that gives the parallax effect. When you go left and right, you can see the background moving less faster, slower than the foreground, etc.
I noticed with the animation, there's a combination of hand-drawn frame-by-frame animation and puppet animation. I personally really like that aesthetic. It reminds me of like old Flash games in a way, but like a very like polished version of it.
I think there is very little puppet animation for the main character, at least. But for some background ones, like the ones you can see in the background, there might be a little bit. But most of them are hand-drawn on Animate.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it was quite important. We had a person fully on it for the whole production, whose name is Guillaume Gilles. You're doing great so far for the Brass Palace.
Thank you. I think this game really would have been like the hot new thing if it sort of came out like a couple years earlier.
Probably. I don't know.
In my opinion, when a game comes out, doesn't matter if it's a great game, it's a great game. And this is definitely one of those great games. Like I've put in probably 15, 20 hours already into it, and I just keep coming back to it.
Very glad to hear that. I'm host Smiley and all.
And for reference, anyone watching, this maybe isn't the hardest section, because at least personally, the jail escape at the end is very difficult for me.
Oh yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come
is.
to it.
But we're definitely getting to see some of the more difficult sections, and Horizon's making them look easy.
We will elaborate on that until we get to it.
The escape sequence. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying we'll keep the jail part brief till we come to it, because I think that's going to be a pretty big surprise.
If anyone has watched any of my other runs, like when I did Neva earlier this week, escape sections are the hardest part for me for whatever reason for speedrunning. So
for whatever reason, I think there are noticeable reasons.
Okay. Well, for whatever reason, this one in particular is kind of my run killer. So I'm wishing you good luck on that bit.
Thank you. I've been grinding at that for a while. I definitely have been like dying a bit more than I have in normal run, given the pressure, but I'm pretty confident that I can knock out the jailbreak with Little Issue. We'll see.
I mean, it's more about being very careful and playing safe for the jail section, I think.
Good one.
As runners, we unfortunately, or for better or worse, we can't really play things safe.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I had so much issues, and with like my first playthrough was I was just going so fast and dying left and right. Everyone started calling me like an IGN reviewer, and that was my villain backstory to start speedrunning.
We are trying to make some improvements for the escape sequence to have it just run a little bit smoothly. We've been doing some tests left and right, so we'll see how it's going when we are doing the next update.
This cutscene goes
the
on.
new mechanics that it introduces, though. With we'll talk about more when we get there. Don't want to spoil anything, but there's a couple new mechanics in terms of dodging things and stuff that made it really interesting and different compared to the rest of the game.
In case my sister is watching in the other room is bored by this cutscene, can someone type skivity in the chat for my little sister? If you hear banging on my door in like 20 seconds, that's why.
Well, hey, I like to hear that it's kind of like a family, afternoon out. I like to hear that the family's involved.
It's just my sister.
Don't say just your sister. It's your sister. She heard that one too. Just so you know.
No banging on the door, so I think we're good. Crap. I deserved that.
That was the karma.
Yep. Maybe I just have headphones in, but on my mic it's like brum 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 brum. Alright. This portion gave me some trouble.
So I know I've worked at a game developer before as well, and I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes into the production process, and it doesn't always necessarily make it into the final game. Were there any like game mechanics or anything that you all toyed with that maybe didn't quite make it in?
Yeah, there are a lot, of course. There always is. You know the drill. But yeah, we had, for example, a wall world that couldn't make it for the final version. We had a fifth world level we intended to have, but couldn't make it because it required too many time, and we were very late at this point, so we had to cut it off. It was the main thing that we had to cut.
Sounds like DLC ready to happen. I don't know.
It was the intention at first, but I don't think it will be at this point.
Well, we'll see what else you guys do in the future. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, if we found new findings for our next project, we'll keep updated.
And another little tip for developers, which feel free to take advantage as you're working on your new game. Invite speedrunners as beta testers, because no one breaks games quite like we do. So
yeah, they are very, very efficient game breakers.
because this was my first time, well, not my first time, because this is like the first time a lot of people are going to find out about this game, I was trying not to like break the game, hence my worry with the soft lock at the beginning.
No, we're all about breaking games here.
Yep. But yeah, I think there's a lot of fun that comes with breaking a game in its early upon like its release.
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Sonic Boom.
I understand that too, as well, even though I'm the developer.
Oh my god, thank goodness. This one I was going to say until I died, but that was like, that's the most frustrating part of the entire game, apart from the thing we're going to get to, so I'm glad I didn't die there.
Oh, just because of the time loss if you get hit?
Yeah, it's like, that's just like a box that carries you, so it's basically just an auto-scroller. Very annoying to die on. It's also very difficult. Oh, 46. I think we might be on world record pace, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you can.
Maybe not, but we'll see.
You gotta be careful with the jinxes.
Yep. There we go, and there we go.
Nice. So yeah, as you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of side rooms that you won't see here in this run because it's any person. But we have some quite unique mechanics going on for the secret rooms, etc., for each zone. So maybe in a future run you could see them in action, because I've seen the runners discovering huge skip for some of the rooms, even for the grass ones.
So we talked a lot about kind of the environmental storytelling. Chad is wondering if there is like a more substantial lore behind this. Is there, what happened, what was the world like before this time period, or what would the world be like after the
actually content? Really wanted to show the opening cutscene, but as Cutie said before, you can't skip any cutscenes you can't like let any cutscenes play that are skippable. But I actually really wanted to like show that opening cutscene to give context, but
we can definitely talk about it.
Yeah, I'll let the dev himself.
I can talk about it if you want to focus.
Please do.
So yeah, you couldn't see because we had to skip the cutscenes because it's a speedrun. But the game started as the Bandmaster, the very first NPC we saw in the game, bringing the mask of Philemon on some sort of machine that brings him back to life. So we understand that Philemon which is the character you are seeing, Philemon has a big role to play in the universe of Symphonia, and you understand that you have to awake this universe by playing concerts with the other prodigies, with them, and just reawake once again this big universe and big orchestra orchestra box.
Yep, pretty much. We might have time to show a bit of the ending after we finish the run, but now we get on to the tricky part. Oh, he does a little wave. I just noticed like he waves.
Good luck on the final section.
But yeah, we'll definitely let the ending cutscene run as we're doing any shout outs or wrapping up, but we got a ways to go yet before that happens.
This king really has beef with this silly little guy. I don't get it.
Now we're in jail. Yeah, there's no bars or anything, but we're in jail.
Yep.
It's kind of the Ocarina of Time jail, you know, with just a giant hole. You can just grapple on the roof.
Here we go.
Here comes the big boy.
I might like not talk very much because I kind of want to let this music play because this is my favorite. This might be my favorite track in the game.
Oh, it is. It is it?
This is like pure John Williams-y.
Yeah.
Just intensity.
Yeah,
It has some.
I could definitely see this like Indiana Jones type thing.
It reminds me a lot of. I think it's called Duel of Fate, Star Wars Episode 3.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah, it has some kind of somehow this vibe. I think so. But yeah, I love also love a lot this music section.
All right, first sequence done. Free to go.
Nice,
one
nice.
screen done. And when you're doing this, are you intentionally manipulating the cannonballs at all, or are you just kind of going for it?
I'm keeping it in mind, but for the most part, I'm focused on trying to go fast, like I said earlier. I think I've gotten pretty consistent at this point that I can. Please don't jinx. Okay, cool.
I was gonna say that's what always kills my run is something like that, where it just comes from off screen.
And skip. There we go.
Nice. Wow, two out
Yeah.
of 4.
2 out of 4.
You're doing
but
great.
They only get harder. And that's the most infuriating thing. You die, you start all the way back to the beginning of that sequence.
Yeah, that's kind of why you sometimes have to just play it safe on some section when you are not just sure about it.
Yep. This is like the biggest run. It's so tragic for a speedrunner when the biggest run killer in the game is at the very end.
Yeah, we wanted to have a very big finale for the game, but we didn't anticipate the fact that it was very much a run killer.
At least it's not SMB right now with the whole frame rule thing not applying to the ending.
But what I like about that is it means every run is always alive. Like a lot of times for me, if I'm doing 100 runs of a game, I start to zone out a little bit. Okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's kind of
Okay, last part.
it becomes automatic, but this keeps it alive. You never quite know. You still a lot of tension, a lot of pressure.
Yep.
No pressure right now, of course, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold your breath.
I mean, it ends the run with a big finale and a lot of tension.
Oh, this music's so good. The trombone right here. I love how the melody gets handed on to like across like the different brass instruments. It really like gives it some character. Menacing character. Oh god.
is there
All right,
any...
and jump, boom!
Woo!
Literally.
That is not time quite yet, but time is
Not
coming
time
up.
yet,
Yeah, but
but yeah, the hardest part is done.
dude, realistically, I would have this guy. Oh, I heard a dog. Yep.
Oh, doggy.
I think we're all big fan of dogs.
Yep. She's Jenny. We got her.
Sweetheart.
We got probably about 20-ish seconds left. Just keeping an eye on the IGT here.
I think we're gonna get that sub 55. Let's see.
55 is pretty
Well,
good.
on the end game timer. My bad. I've been looking at that for the past while. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Boom. All right.
And that's time.
Woo! Good job, time.
Yeah, I should have said time. So what's the real time?
Real time is stream will catch up here in a second, but about 56:25. It looks like 26.
That's a world record.
It is world record on live. Good job.
Thank you very much. So I would like to hand some closing thoughts over to you as this cutscene plays for a little bit. I think we have some time, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, if you have
Cutie can be the judge of that.
yeah, if you want to tell people if you have any shout outs where they could follow you, anything like that. We've got more Symphonia coming up after this, but yeah, this is kind of your time to tell us a little about anything you want to talk to us about.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I was talking about...
You're the star.
I just started my Twitch channel just to enter this. That's how... I don't know. Play Symphonia. It's really good.
Thank you.
That's fair enough.
I think that's about it.
Well, that's great. But so before we go to break, I do have a little bit of message. We are doing this in partnership with Head Up and with Sunny Peak. Obviously, Cold is from Sunny Peak here. So we do want to let you know that Symphonia, the gorgeous musical precision platformer, which you've been watching for the last hour, is available now on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and it's available for pre-order on Nintendo Switch, with the release just around the corner on January 23rd. So make sure you step into a world where music breathes life into everything, yet silence looms after the disappearance of the Prodigies and their orchestra. In the game, you'll play as Philium, a mysterious musician on a quest to reunite the orchestra and restore harmony to the world. As we've been talking about throughout this run, everyone here today genuinely loves this game, myself included, so I'm so excited that we could showcase this, but we're not done. We've got a race of New Game Plus coming up. You'll get to have some extra abilities and get to see some things that you maybe are done a little bit differently in the next run than what we just saw. So stick around and we'll be back in a few minutes. Hello everyone, my name is Cutie and welcome back to our Symphonia showcase. We just showcased the new game run, which is more or less how the game is intended, the normal progression. Now we get to step it up a level. We're doing a New Game Plus race, and we have runners here who are both from France and Argentina, and then myself, I'm in the US. So we have 3 continents represented here. And I'm super excited for this. The international flavor to this game is amazing. And also we have runners who are not here today who are in Japan and other countries. I think music is a language that transcends nationality. It transcends any sort of borders. And the fact that this game focuses so heavily on that makes it really kind of universal globally. So I'm super excited for this. Let's go ahead and bring in our runners. Esteban and Mr. Wolf, how are you both doing today?
I'm really fine.
Doing good.
And you, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're in the middle of an amazing show. I'm having a great time. So if you want to go ahead and kind of introduce yourselves, tell us anything you'd like us to know about you, and then we can go ahead and get into the race, and we'll chat through as we play.
Okay, should I start? Well, my name is Mr. Wolf. I'm from Argentina. I mostly like a tasser. I'm a Celeste tasser. But I also picked up this game in 2021, like the student project version. And since this game release, I've been really excited to play it out. And yeah, I mostly play New Game Plus because I think it's a more entertaining category. That's it.
So, myself, I'm Esteban 143, sorry. I speak in French, I'm 2 years. So, I'm mostly speedrun narrative games and horror games. And I'm not really used to speedrun platformers. But Symphonia, I really love this game, so I decided to speedrun it. And like Wolf, I started with a student project in 21, 2021, I believe. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I really love when I saw that you had both been running the student project, which we talked about a little bit earlier in the stream. I knew I had to have you not only both on the stream, but I'd love to set up a race just because you have been around this game for a few years now. You've played it a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this started, and let's see how Team France and Team Argentina do. So we usually have the runners do the countdown. So Wolf, could you give us a 3, 2, 1, and then just start on 0?
Sure, we could do that. Okay, are you ready, Steph?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good
Good luck on the
have
run.
fun.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm quite scared about my laptop here.
oh, don't be scared. You'll be fine. One of the great things about this game is it does run on a variety of platforms and systems. So even if you are running on a laptop or something like that, it is very easy to play this game, even at a high level, even speedrunning it on any form of platform or software.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm mostly scared because I'm having like all of these things, like the stream and all. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Okay.
Now, I'm not personally as familiar with the student project. So, Cold, maybe you could tell us kind of how things developed since this was a student project. Was any of the original work, settings, or locations, included in the full release, or kind of how did that play out over the years?
So yeah, since the student project, we kept mainly the main idea for the gameplay, the universe, the story, etc. We wanted to keep that as it was, but we started doing overs for a lot of things. For example, we recoded all of Philemon movesets. We started from scratch by making new game assets, etc. But we kind of wanted to keep some of the environments for this full version of it. For example, some of the environments in the game actually come from or are a reference from the student project, where you just have a big room with a pedestal and just the curtains, etc.
And I know that based on load times and different things, the runners may be in slightly different places, but what's important is that in-game timer at the top left. So keep an eye on that and where each one is at given times, and that'll help you kind of assess where they are in the race and how they're doing. Both are moving really well right now, though.
Oh no, my computer is like not liking this for some reason. But, yeah. Shall I? Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah, that is much better.
Okay, we're playing.
Sorry, I play like in an old laptop, so
Oh, not at all.
it's no problem when I run it normally. But
Wait,
yeah, that's like
we're just playing a little bit with the technical stuff. Don't worry, chat, but we're all good now. We just want to make it as smooth and as easy for the runners and everyone as possible as well. And so, Cold, what is maybe one of your favorite things or your favorite part about the game? Is there anything in particular that you worked on or that really speaks to you about this?
I think I kind of like the Woodwinds area because it was the very first area we finished, polished, etc. And I really liked a lot to work on the level design of this world specifically, because it's very inspiring with all the winds, instruments, etc. So I liked a lot working on it, and also liked a lot working on the final section for the Brass Palace, etc.
oh
And so we didn't talk too much about what the New Game Plus category is, but what's going on here is some of the abilities you saw during New Game, specifically the twirl and the hook, become permanently unlockable once you get them on your first playthrough. And so what New Game Plus lets you do, you still need to unlock double jump if you want to by collecting a memory fragment. I believe neither runner is doing that. But if you want, But in New Game Plus, if you want to, you can turn on twirl and hook immediately, which does let them bypass needing the double jump because they have other movement options. And so that's what we're seeing here is you are not supposed to have a couple of these abilities at this point in terms of normal progression. Obviously, the devs intended you to play with the settings a little bit. But so we're seeing how you can approach some of these platforms and some of these puzzles in a slightly different way by having access to those different abilities a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we wanted to have special interaction with, for example, the grappling hook and some of the early level design bricks in case people wanted to start over the game. Of course, you don't save a ton of times. It's always micro savings, but I think it's kind of cool to just have some gameplay feature having interactions with level design bricks that you won't see in a normal any-person run.
And when you're, we're going to showcase assists later, but the process of collecting some of the really challenging memory fragments that are in some of the challenge rooms, you can go back to some of the earlier locations with these abilities. There's an exploration element to it where you can fast travel. We obviously don't see it that much in the speedrun, but you can fast travel back to locations that you've been through and then use these abilities to help you get some of those collectibles that maybe you were struggling with a little earlier.
Yeah, plus some of them are not accessible on the first run, so you have for some of them to go back and just get them later. Or you just have to find a way to just bypass the whole room by finding a new tech or just skip.
I mean, that's good to hear because I didn't know that when I was playing casually. And I was like, I must be really bad. I can't get this one thing.
No, don't worry. We didn't make it very clear, so we implemented a new safety measure to warn the player that they don't have yet the good ability to finish the room. Some of them are possible with on the first run, but not all of them, of course.
Oh, that was close.
I love seeing these two go back and forth like at the same time, and not everything they're doing is, quote unquote identical. They both have like slightly different routes or different things that they're doing in each room.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see the different approach they have on each challenge and or room, etc. You might somewhere use the grappling bow to catch a cushion that is farther, or you can just keep building up momentum to reach it faster, etc. So it's quite interesting to see the different approach.
You can also, and sort of unintended feature, is that you can use a grappling hook to like stall in the air because it resets totally your speed.
Yeah.
So you can actually use it to skip some sections with the wind specifically. I'm going to probably Esteban already did, but yeah, I'm going to show that also.
Yeah, I'm trying I'm trying not to talk about too much where each player is because I want the race outcome to be a surprise for both of them.
Yeah, understandable.
Don't worry, I already know I'm behind because of the malfunction thing.
It's all about, remember, it's all about in-game time, and you were paused, so the timer wasn't running.
Oh yeah, but also I know because of the in-game timer. Because I used to run like the student project version, I'm like really used to short games because that game was like 5 minutes long. So yeah, I have like an internal timer that basically tells me where am I and if I am in a good pace. Not the best thing to have if you are like a runner from a long game, but yeah, it's something I have.
Now, since this was a student project, apologies if this is maybe too personal a question, but I'm curious, how did the teacher like it? Did they give you any advice or any critiques? Did anything they say make it into the game? Was there any special outcomes or history or anything with it, the fact that it was specifically a student project as opposed to, a game jam or anything else?
I mean, they kind of liked it at first, so we didn't have that much criticism or just they just kind of liked it. But of course, on the early prototype of the game, since we had different milestones to reach for the student project, we had a lot of implementation and features that has evolved. For example, in the very, very early version of the student project, we had a mid-air dash, just like in Celeste, implemented, but we removed it from the game because it was kind of too much going on with the pogo and the jump and this and that, etc. So we just removed it from the game, and it was for the better, I think.
Yeah, I think the game, because of that, definitely has kind of a unique identity. Obviously, the artwork, the focus on music, etc., gives us its own character. But you really came up with movement mechanics that are a little less common in platformers. Like we've talked about earlier, I love kind of the building of momentum and how that interplays with the twirl and the hook and the other things, and how you get into this kind of flow with the metronome sound of the violin. So I think it really gave it its own little flavor rather than just saying every game has a double jump or a dash, let's just do that.
Yeah, plus the double jump ability that we saw for the previous one and this one as well is intended to be an accessibility feature. We didn't want it to have it in the game, so we didn't plan the full level design with this feature in mind. But we still wanted to have it to let the most curious player, but the one that are not familiar with the 2D platformer game genre, to be able to still enjoy the game a little bit, even though the game is difficult. Yeah, that was a rough one.
And just remember, no matter what happens, the King's Palace is the great equalizer.
Yeah.
That was so close. Okay.
Oh,
This backup. Oh yeah, that worked.
so doing this game, you can definitely see there's a lot of spikes and a lot of things that can hurt you.
Yeah.
And so doing this game fast, especially, is a lot more challenging than most of our runners are making it look, just because this is a very challenging game with a lot of mechanics to learn and a lot of little things that go into it, whether it's the momentum, whether it's juggling different abilities. Just like Celeste, you don't want to run out of movement options. So while they're making it look incredibly easy, my personal PB on this is like 120 or something. So this game is definitely harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's a lot about just avoiding all the traps that can lay around left and right, etc.
Yeah, there's a skip that I need to do. It's quite hard. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I remember I discovered this one as well when we were in production, and we wanted to keep it because it was quite nice.
Yeah, I think it's really great to reward players who figure those things out. Like, it's not the intended path, but you feel so cool when you're like, okay, I can do that instead. Like, just learning that on your own.
I mean, that is the intention. So we don't want to just remove things that can be useful for certain type of players, and for any reason, for no reasons at least. If we were to remove features or just remove bugs or other things like that, it will be because it can be only because it can be can parasite the gameplay for all the other type of players. But we won't do it just for free. We won't just do it to be mean.
Yeah, I have to like say sorry here because I contributed a lot to the glitch hunt
Yeah.
part. Well, yeah, there was a bug. Like many of you probably noticed that at the start we skipped like the long, like we call it strum skip. Basically, you can skip it easily with like the trigger ability. Oh, that's my fault. Yeah, you could do it by abusing a glitch with the pogo. If you change directions really quick, like it wouldn't count the direction you press, but you could gain height. So yeah, you could. That was in the demo, I think, but it was patched. Oh.
Yeah, but you helped a lot to find a lot of the early glitches we had during the demo and the early release of the game.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Seems like maybe there might be a job offer in your future. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, I like a lot like the glitch hunting side of things. That's why even though I was like a very active speedrunner, I'm not that much in the current game, but I glitch hunt a lot because I discovered like I want also this to be like a showcase of these little skips because I know I'm not in a base or anything, quite in a bad place. But yeah, I want to showcase some of the skips that are found that I think are the main reason why I speedrun this game. That was one.
And for a reminder for anyone who's recently joined us, this game is still very new and it's actually releasing on the Switch in a few days here. So what you're seeing here is only really a flavor in terms of speedrunning, especially what you can do. There's still a lot of things that the community is working on figuring out, new places that we're looking to try to make some skips. So if like Mr. Wolf, you are interested in glitch hunting, routing, or anything else, like this game is still ready and looking for a lot of people to get into that. But also there's a lot of room for figuring out new things and figuring out different things that you can do, momentum mechanics and how to play with, for example, the ropes that we'll see later in the game. I know there's a few things you can do with those. So there's still a lot of places that we can find new things for this. So if that is your thing as a speedrunner, for sure, check this one out.
Sure. Yeah, it's like glitch-wise. It's like, well, not like glitchy, I mean. But I mean, there's a lot to find still. And I was working on it. But I also shout out to Rising Star for like passing the game. Oh, damn. They have been finding like a lot of things in this game, especially with like wind. Spoilers, but it's kind of messy. I don't know why I'm. Yeah, there's some input lag because of my computer, so like this is. Oh, there it goes. It's quite difficult to time some of the skips. There's no problem.
We'll just call it a challenge run.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I was so scared to do it.
And speaking of challenge runs, if you want to stick around after this race, Esteban's going to be doing an assist showcase. We're actually only going about halfway through the game because what we're going to try to show is so hard to do when we speed up in-game time and do some other things that like we're still experimenting with what is possible with the assist run, but we wanted to make sure you get to see a little bit of everything that this game has to offer. So if that's your thing and you want to see this game get, I don't want to say broken because the settings are there and the settings are there to be played with. Like that's the whole point. But like we're gonna do some interesting stuff after this.
You can say that. I mean, I'm quite happy to see people breaking our game. So.
Yeah, like semi-spoiler, but there's going to be like a lot of speed, like much more than you can get. Okay. So stick out.
Yeah, so some of the settings in the assist run, you can speed up the in-game speed, so you can go up to like I think 150% is the max. You can do things like make all of the walls into catapult locations. You can do a lot of really really wild things I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, it was quite at first a funny jig we had in the development. I mean the accessibility option that lets you transform all the walls, incursions, etc. And we played a little bit around with it, and we found it quite fun. So we wanted to keep it in the full version, just having it around and letting people have fun with it. But I didn't think there will be a whole has category for speedrun like this.
Oh yeah. At the first, like it wasn't like it didn't have much meaning because like it was pretty similar to a New Game Plus, with the exception of getting the double jump. But then Esteban, I think, discovered like how you can get a lot of people, let's say. So yeah, it plays really differently. Like it's not even the same game.
No, not at all.
So yeah, stick for that. Oh, Matriach. Okay, I think I'm going to try. I know that my time is the best, so I'm going to try to showcase a new glitch that Esteban I think encountered. Then I made a setup for it. So yeah, it's quite cool.
Oh,
is this the cushion thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I won't spoil it. I'll let you do that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try it too.
Oh, that was so cool.
yeah, that was.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that.
And so, Cold, what was the inspiration behind the time or season changing elements of the Matriarch here? Was there anything particularly that was kind of influencing why that happened story-wise?
We wanted to have this because we wanted to show that the Matriarch is working hard to keep the air part of the world, keep it running, etc. And we wanted to show that she's the one that regulates the cycle, night, morning, and night, etc. Because all of the NPCs, if you can see it, during the night are asleep and can't function without artificial daylight. And once she turns the time in day, etc., you can see that the NPC starts moving around again, etc. But she has to give them a little bit of sleep, so she has to turn from time to time to nighttime, etc. So that's kind of why the Matriarch has been going around playing cello and just, going to morning, afternoon, and then twilight and night.
And is that then why the King's Palace is kind of contrary to that? Because he has artificial light and light bulbs, and that's a piece of a couple of the cutscenes, if I remember correctly. Is there an interplay there where he's kind of trying to not protect himself, but like overcome the laws of nature or the rhythm of time? Because you mentioned like they need the light to be awake. Is that something that's going on in the background?
I mean, it's a different kind of story we wanted to tell around the Kinglet, because each part of Symphonia are separate from one to another. Because, for example, the Trickster, the Matriarch, and the Kinglet hasn't been able to see each other for a long time. All of the biomes are just in quarantine, so they couldn't exchange. So the Kinglets and the NPCs inside of the area function differently, but you can see that the Kinglet has more trouble to keep things running because he lacks sometimes of musical power to just do things by himself. So he tried to keep his authority intact and might be frightened by some outsiders that can, let's say, just contest his authority. So that's kind of why he's been quite hostile towards Philemon at first, because first he didn't recognize him, and also he didn't want him to take his place because he was afraid and quite insecure about it.
I like that there's so much kind of under the hood in terms of what's going on. Like, I offered one interpretation, but there's an entirely different one there. Like, I love this because of the environmental storytelling and everything going on with the artwork and all of that. Like, there's a lot to unpack here and kind of think about as you're playing through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was the intentions, but I'm quite happy to see the people and the players doing their own interpretation of the story we are trying to told them. So it's quite alright if you see anything else for the games and for the messages we wanted to convey. It's just that it was the initial intentions.
Okay.
I'm just checking up.
Yeah, here I'm going to take.
No, go ahead. For sure.
Yeah, here I'm going to take a intentional death just to like spawn at the top. You can technically do it faster if you like just get really quick, but yeah, it's better to do so.
I actually didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's faster if you are on a new game because you don't have the hook. Oh yeah, some like, I know it's intended, but it's funny that you can actually like hook, like use the grappling hook on these ropes, considering the fact that I don't think you see it in like the time you get it. So it's quite like a nice touch.
Yeah, it's
that you actually.
Yeah, it was quite light to implement, so why not? We said why not implement it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite good in most parts, so I'm glad that you chose to.
I think it might have been, if I remember correctly, Iron Pineapple always says like every game is better with a grappling hook. Like when in doubt, add a grappling hook.
True.
Does the hook have any like background on the same way we're using a violin? Is there a musical component to the grappling hook?
Sadly, no. There is not that much, and it's quite a sad part that we couldn't implement. At first, the grappling hook was one of the features we wanted to have in the student game, but because the student project is only 6 or 8 months in production, we didn't have the time for that. But we wanted to have it in the full game, and we didn't find any good way to implement it as a musical feature, because at first it was supposed to be in another biome. So yeah, we are quite sad that it doesn't have a strong link to music, just like the other features.
Well, it's okay. I don't think the spikes are musical either. So not everything has to be musical.
Of course not. We couldn't make everything musical. But yeah, I talked about mainly for the Philemon's abilities.
Yeah, this section is quite rough because you are so close.
Yeah. It can be quite tricky to get how the physics of the horizontal strings work. So you can end in places when you don't want to be at the same timing.
Yeah, I find it was really interesting, the interplay between like the bounciness of the strings, but you can see Esteban right now having to go through spikes while bouncing on the strings. I thought that was like a really interesting, but also quite frankly a very tough little segment. And of course Esteban makes it look real easy.
There's a skip here, so, but I don't think I can get it. No. Okay. Yeah, basically you can just like... Oh my god. The lag? I'm having like a little problems with timing. But yeah, I think it should be.
And for those who aren't familiar with GDQ and how, streaming and what goes into production, there are a lot of things that you have to run on the back end, Discord, OBS, and other things. So it's not always the easiest thing to do to stream, live races and live runs like this. So sometimes, there might be a little bit of input lag or something else. Definitely not Mr. Wolf's fault.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's like I kind of expected it, but also like I wanted to do this run regardless because I think like even if I don't make like anything great, I can maybe like encourage people to try it out. That's just say like, oh, I can do better than this person.
So what was it about, I know you've been playing since the student project, what was it about Symphonia and the student project and everything that made you want to, also that was very clean, but made you want to play this game and to run through it? I know you mentioned Celeste a little bit earlier.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've always like enjoyed a lot of platformers, like it's my favorite genre, but also because like the pogo, it's like something you don't see quite often. I don't know why I tried it there. But yeah, it's like, it catched me so like at the moment, and it was like so good. But also it was because I saw like a Spanish YouTuber that was talking, like the reason I discovered the game was because a Spanish YouTuber was talking about how at some point it like some scammers tried to make like a copy of the game. Probably you remember that.
Yeah.
And it was called Sonata or something like that. So yeah, I discovered by that, and I looked the game and I say, oh, that looks very fun. I could probably run that. I tried it. I met Hefa, the former world record, and I say, okay, I could give it a shot. And then I spent like 1 year just playing mostly. But yeah, it's like very different from this game. Not only because of like the changes, I mean also because of how it feels to play this game. It's much more, how could I say this? Fluid. That's the name.
You know the old saying, copying. Mimicry is like the sincerest. I'm missing the phrase, but copying is the sincerest form of flattery. So the fact that somebody would want to, make a duplicate of your game, that kind of indicates like just how good it is. Like other people were saying, I wish I had made that. I wish I had done something that cool. So
I mean, it was more like instead of a copy of the game, it was more like there it goes. It was a virus.
It was straight up.
It was.
Yeah, the story is quite funny because when we released the student project a few months later, some people just copied the website we've made 100% and just changed the name left and right, send emails to YouTubers to say, hey, play our games, it's quite fun, etc. But it wasn't us. And the link they sent was just a Trojan horse taking control of their PCs. So this was just straight up a scam. So we tried for a lot of time to take them down. And just as Mr. Wolf said, there's been a Spanish YouTuber that covered it and explained what was going on at the time.
I had no idea this game had such a colorful Netflix documentary-worthy history to it.
But yeah, it was quite frightening and quite weird to see because they went very, very far to just make a game. They recreated a fake website. They took our photos, changed our names. They created fake LinkedIn accounts, etc. They went very, very far just for a Trojan horse scam going for YouTubers. That was quite weird.
Oh. Yeah.
Well,
but yeah, and then I was very excited for the new release. So yeah, that's how I'm here.
Well,
also I have a passion because I'm like a tester, so have well, it's not that related, but I like dissecting games, if you could say so. So yeah, I also love like glitch hunting in general, and even though I'm currently not a world record holder, I'm like in the old game, but not here. I like developed some strats. I think I can showcase one here. Let me see. Oh, that was good. Yeah, this was found like yesterday. No, not even yesterday. I think it was this.
And you
It's
mentioned you're a tasser. Do you think you'll try to do a task of this game? I know Rising Star is also working on that.
Oh yeah. I should get like to know the tools, because that's like the main problem with most tasks. Like tools are difficult to find. Apparently, Rising found a way to like inject some task input into it. But yeah, okay, here it is. I'll try to do it just to showcase it. Oh, this is.
This is the cushion glitch that was just found.
Yeah. Okay, that worked.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one, Cold?
Oh.
Sorry about I dozed out.
He was able to, or they were able to go through a wall using the rope. But
Oh yeah, sometimes it happens because we still the feature is still quite a little bit buggy, so it doesn't surprise me that much.
Yeah, I mean,
good
it's
save.
like quite pixel perfect. Like, you need to be exactly in the right place, so don't think it's like something easy to do.
Yeah, it is quite finicky.
I developed a setup, sort of, but yeah, it's nothing to brag about.
And if anyone's not familiar what tassing is, that's basically using I don't know if robot is the right word, but a tool to do theoretically perfect inputs and perfect routes that may or may not be humanly possible. So you may have seen this is very popular with like Super Mario Brothers, and I believe Celeste has one. I talked about a little earlier on the stream that there's a Portal 2 task that was quite interesting to watch. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the community can do down the line with a task on this.
Oh yeah, like a more in-depth explanation of what a task is. It's like task in itself. It's referred to tool-assisted speedrun. So it's basically what the runner does, like with tools, external tools, to like improve the run. You could say, like you could go back to the same point you did, do it with slowdown, or in the case of Celeste, directly injecting the inputs. Like that's the best way to say it. Write the inputs and the machine will just read them. Like the task is made by a human, like there's no computer involved, if you could say so. But yeah, Rising was doing some tasks and finding out stuff, especially about like the more finicky parts of the game, especially some buggy parts. So it's sort of glitch hunting. So it's very interesting. I'll give it a try at some point.
And that's something I've always found super interesting about speedrunning is it's a different way to engage with games, especially games you love. You start to think about them a little bit differently. You start to think about them like a developer. Oh, how does this work? Does it have a hitbox? Does it last for 5 frames? Does it do X, Y, Z? And so that's what keeps me coming back with speedrunning, is kind of getting to know games in an entirely different way.
Oh yeah, sure. That's the main thing I like.
Okay. I got a soft lock, so I need to restart my game. It's something that can happen.
Oh no! I'm sorry you had
really?
you had this one. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Now's your time to shine, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Mr. Wolf
often
for the,
have this
for the
one.
lead.
But yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, there he goes. Oh.
Anything can and does happen in a race, so we're gonna go with it.
Even the worst,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm scared that it's going to happen to me too. Unfortunately, even with like the input lag and all, I didn't got like the out of bounds glitch that happened to Horizon. But I think I'd theorize it's like hardware related, so knowing how my computer is, I was scared. But yeah, the problem is like there's a little bug here that's not helpful. Basically, there's a trumpet, like you can find it like later, you know? And sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
For some
it
reason.
is in specific locations of the game, and we are still trying to find why it's still happening. The system has been known to break down from time to time during development, but we went back and forth and with fixes, and it was fixed in a lot of locations. But some of them are still persistent, and we don't know why. It's just so fucking frustrating.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There has been like a lot of fixes, and I'm really glad for that. But yeah, that specifically is like it happens like randomly, and I have to go back to the menu for it to like solve. So yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is not a good place, but yeah, I can make it work. Oh. Like. I still, funny thing is I can still PB here because my PB is like horrible. It's like, it's 58, 59. And it's like really low compared to the other ones. There's a little skip. Oh my god. I was 1 pixel away of the...
Yeah, I saw that. You just stopped in front of the death.
Yeah, you had a couple of those grapples that have really saved you. That's a trick I need to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing I like about NG Plus, and the reason that like this, I don't run like a new game just because there's so many things you can do with the hook that are not intended because they meant to like just you're meant to hook something, but actually I'm just using it to stall in the air most of the time. So that's the main thing I like. And yeah, it saves a lot of time. But that's why I say that I'm really impressed about what Horizon does, because he like just came and broke the record by a lot, and even like doing a better time than what the NG Plus time was, which is really impressive. Yeah. No.
And we've talked a lot over the last couple hours about the music score and that it was live recorded. Is there any possibility or interest you might release an OST, either an actual physical version, which would be super cool, but even on like Spotify or something like that? Is there a chance for an OST out there?
Currently, we have something in the making, working toward that. So you might have some news in the following, I don't know, months about a physical version of the OST, and maybe more. Okay. So just keep yourself updated, and you will see that there will be maybe more than that.
Okay. You might have seen, if you've been here for a few hours, I pulled out a vinyl record of Cuphead's OST. So if you happen to put it out on vinyl, let me know. I do have a record player.
we had some proposition very early in the development, but it was like 3 or 4 months after we started. So we were like, it's maybe a little bit early for that. So let's see later. But we were definitely interested by that as well.
Okay.
And if you watch GDQ quite a bit, you probably heard me say this before, but this is one of the reasons it's so important to support indie developers. Just the amount of creativity and love that goes into a project like this, like, you know, Call of Duty 95 or whatever number they're on, like those are great to play, and I play them myself, it's fine. But you don't see this kind of level of passion and love unless you really go into the indie scene. And so it's super important that when you see a game like this that really put in the effort and really put in the time, that you, if it looks interesting to you, definitely give it a shot. Like, like I said, I put a lot of time into this game, and I think that if you really dig into the world, there is so much in every corner of this game that just shows the devs really loved it. And the fact that they're still working on an OST and everything post-release, like that's just fantastic to hear.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to be in the indie scene because it gave us a lot of liberty, creativity, etc. A lot of space to create, and I'm quite happy to still be in here because I know I won't have the same flexibility if I go in a much bigger studio. Of course, there's the stability to be in a big studio and work in a big team, etc. But I quite like to be in small teams and just freely add and just implement new things without too much constraints, etc.
Okay, wow, I'm doing better than I thought. So yeah, I should probably mention this is like the harder part. Like Kinglet is really hard.
Yeah.
Mostly because like all the abilities you have come into play now. But also because like there's just a lot of things going on. So yeah, this can be like, oh, this is the part. I hope the trumpet is working.
Yeah. Horizon and Esteban didn't have any issue on this part. I think Horizon also pulled the whole escape sequence thing without any death, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
Oh yeah,
that's right.
that was quite impressive. Okay, I think it's working. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll just call it trumpet RNG.
Trumpet RNG. It was not intended, but yeah.
Do you know what causes it? Is there something that runners could do to avoid it? Like don't use the grapple hook in that section or something like that?
No, unfortunately, we don't even have a clue about if there is a reproducible way to just repeal the seat. We don't know why it's happening. Yeah, we do know why it's happening because the connection break, but we don't know why the connection is breaking. So it might not be because of any of the player inputs. It might be because of internal things and very, very precise timing. So that's kind of why we have some troubles to find the origin and just eliminate the bug.
And for what it's worth, I think I've done, if I remember, maybe 12 or 13 speedruns of this game, and I only had it happen to me once. So it's not, especially casually, it's not something that's super common.
Yeah, no, it's not common, but like for someone that speedruns, like that's a lot of runs.
Yeah.
It's pretty common. Well, it's not pretty common, but I think like it has happened to me 3 times.
Well, I have.
Like the thing is, it kills the run.
I was gonna say I have complete faith in Cold, so give them a month. I think it'll be gone.
But yeah, it was quite frustrating because when the game came out, we had a lot of streamers playing the game. So I went to some of the streams, and I think almost all of the streams I went passed by had a bug that required the game to be relaunched or the save file of that required the player to go back to the main menu and restart the game once again. And it was quite frustrating because I had the feeling that if I joined any stream and talk with the streamer, he might have any sort of bug coming down.
And keep in mind, this went from student project to first, game of your studio. Like some bugs and some growing pains are to be expected. You're not on game 7 or anything like that. So
yeah, we know. But
I think this is really relatively bug-free for given, the studio and how it developed and everything. Like I didn't have very many issues when I was playing through it.
Yeah, but the very little bugs that you can encounter can be experience breaking for some of them, so it's not quite good to have them lying around. So we will definitely find something to fix them at some point.
I shouldn't have gone for that.
And I know I didn't say, I said I was going to try to hide who's ahead a little bit, but Esteban is going into the most dangerous section of the run here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected it. But because you said like Esteban also already did this, so I already knew that was with
Oh yeah, earlier when they were talking about the trumpet. Oh, you picked up on the little clues.
Yeah, but
I also like lost a lot.
I'm on a
time
very
in
good
the
pace, so
Yeah. Good luck for the escape sequence.
yeah,
Good luck.
I hope it will be all good.
Okay, that worked somehow. No. Okay, I wish like my input lag isn't going to be bad at the end because I have like a practice like 5 hours at least like these sections because I wanted because the main thing about that section that makes it hard, it's actually not that hard if you just like go slow. But that's the thing, you don't want to go slow. So if you like go fast, the camera takes a time to like adjust to you. Well, it doesn't take a time, but you can see preemptively because Kinglet is always focused on the left. So if you like go really fast, you actually miss what you're doing, like a little bit. So you have to actually memorize what you're doing. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, that's something we talked about during the Horizon run. And we still have some little tweaks we want to try to implement for future patches. So we will see if it will be less painful to deal with the scrolling not going as fast as we would like from time to time.
Oh yeah. Anyways, it's like part of the challenge.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it can be kind of like bad considering you have to memorize it a whole room. Especially in like what is this? Oh my god. That was so cool. Oh my god, and even with the input lag, it's even more scary because, that room, if you miss it, like it loses you about 20 seconds. Depends on where you die.
Yeah, some of the rooms can be very punishing if you die because some of them have a moving platform going around that you have to follow, etc. And of course, it's also very painful to die in the escape sequence because you can lose a lot of time here.
Like this.
Yeah. Even as myself, when I tried to end the game and verify if it's finishable, I had some troubles from time to time to just not dying, and I got frustrated sometimes.
Were there any changes you said verify if it was finishable? Were any of these sections like a lot harder than they are now, and you were just like, no, we can't do this?
Believe it or not, the escape sequence was way harder before, and we nerfed it multiple times during development. It was also the case for the Hand of Woodwinds area and for part of the Brass Palace, because a lot of people had troubles with some of the features. So we had to nerf left and right to just have less difficulty here and there.
I like that nerf is an international term now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, I'm really behind. Like I don't know where it is, but I know for a fact.
Just keep doing your best. We will finish out your run as well, so don't worry. You'll get to go through the escape sequence.
Yeah, just
Okay.
locks in and you will see.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the trick. Just lock in. Just lock in and do better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job, Esteban.
Yeah. The final one.
Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh no.
Oh, unlucky. Oh, you got it.
I say.
Now the pressure is on.
Sometimes you try to save you save yourself from certain situation, but you just panic button and you try to salvage it.
Oh yeah.
It happens to me a lot of the time.
Yeah, I tried to save it, and by stalling, I end up losing like a lot more time because it isn't safe.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Oh no.
going.
Oh no.
Ooh,
It's a
rough
final
one.
bit.
Now, if you've been with us for a little while, you might remember me asking Horizon if he was manipulating any of these cannons, and this is why. Sometimes the cannons will just give you nowhere to go.
Yeah.
In the last section.
In the
Oh,
last
that's
section,
right.
yeah. Sometimes that's why I was curious if maybe he was trying to get the cannons to shoot at specific points, because definitely when I've been running it, there will be a cannon that will just long distance snipe you.
Yeah, it can be quite
Yeah.
frustrating. And plus, you don't always have in mind the timing, because there is a lot going on the screen. There is a visual effect going on, the scrolling, the main challenge, etc.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you like go for the dice strat? I should. probably
Yes,
mention
I did. The
Okay.
first one.
that. Yeah, basically. Yeah. Because like the last section is quite difficult because as a general rule, this game has like two main cycles. Like that's the best way I can explain it. The first cycle is as soon as you enter the room, maybe if there's a cutscene or whatever, and the second cycle comes when you die. So you not only have to like develop a strat as soon as you enter the room, but also if you die, because the cycles are going to be different.
Yeah.
And in the case of the last room, like, oh, I didn't intend to do that. In the case of the last room, like, the best cycle is found if you die. Like, I developed a strat for that section. So, yeah, the best thing is that, like, to intentionally die. And yeah, I'm going to take this slow because
And time
I really don't want to.
time for Esteban will be coming up here in about 10 seconds.
Even less.
Nice. Good job.
And time.
Nice. GG.
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 But Mr.
Thanks.
Wolf, don't go anywhere. You're gonna finish. You're gonna finish
Now I
your
have the
escape.
pressure on me.
All eyes
Stay
on
put,
you.
finish it. Finish your plate.
The escape room is the veggies.
But yeah, we had in mind the cycle thing going on, and we
Oh my
tried.
God.
We tried to have some nice cycle going on. When you respawn, you can have a strat to go fast for the room. Of course, we didn't manage to get it for all of the rooms, but I tried, at least personally, to go and micro all of the checkpoints inside of each room to have a checkpoint nicely placed to just start over quickly.
Yeah, I do like that this
Oh my God.
this series is very challenging, but you broke it up into 4 sections that get sort of increasingly more difficult, and so you just
Yeah.
kind of get used to it. You don't have to do the whole thing over. It's not one of those. Things.
No.
It will be too punishing.
Oh no.
Oh, yo.
I was doing so fine.
I also like that
Okay.
what am I blanking on? The hazards are both like in front of you and behind you, so you're kind of 360 degree of danger around you in this section.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
there is definitely a lot going on and a lot of dangers.
Once
I'm trying to remember the room because
once the assist category, the experimental stage of it gets through and people start really getting into that, I'd love to see this room done at 150% speed.
oh yeah, this sorry Tim.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you did, but this room might be like really hard to do with catapult.
Yeah, kinda. But it can help too with the catapult.
Well,
So-
for the category, you could turn off catapult, right? You don't have to use it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right.
And during the run, I'm turning on and off, targeting a lot.
Oh yeah, I just did it too.
Oh, nice.
Okay, last section.
Last section.
Oh,
Let's go. Locking in.
that almost catch me. Okay, this section is actually not as hard as the first section, so I'm quite glad. Okay, yeah, here I died intentionally.
Yeah, I think of the four, I
Okay.
think the third one is probably the hardest, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It
A
is.
lot,
Okay.
a lot of people
Haven't-
told us that the third one is the hardest one. Yeah. It's not the longest. The fourth is the longest by far, but maybe the fourth one has just a lot more of space going on.
I'm just like mesmerized watching Wolf go through this.
Last stretch.
Oh my god.
That shit.
If you wonder, I manipulated the cannonballs just because I was so scared.
See, I knew somewhere cannonball manipulation would come into play. I knew it was coming up.
Yeah,
I mean, for this
was
last section,
totally
it's quite
improvised.
normal.
Yeah, but I totally improvised the last section because I forgot what was coming. So yeah. Now I just have to. Okay, this has been, even though it's like 1 hour. I'm quite glad with the result. Of
Yeah,
this.
especially considering, you had some input delay and you're streaming and other things. Like,
Yeah.
doing a 102 is pretty impressive.
Even with that, I think being able to showcase what is possible with this one, it's like my favorite part.
And just a reminder that
Because-
time for Mr. Wolf is coming up when he talks to the conductor at the end. So in about 5-10-ish seconds.
Okay. And time.
GG.
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 Right after Esteban
Oh, wow.
finished all the end cutscenes.
Yes.
Nice.
Nicely
Good
done.
job.
And,
It was quite
and I
good.
do
It's
believe
been very fun.
I do believe all four of us, at least three of us, are sticking around for the next run. But I will take a short little, like, if you have any shout outs, if you want to tell people where they can find you or where they can see more of this game or where to stream or where the Discord is, any of those fun things, definitely take a moment to tell the wonderful people about yourselves or anything you want to talk about.
Oh yeah. Sure. Well, in my case, there's nothing much to see. If you want to see me discovering things, join the Symphonia Discord official Discord. That I think it's in their Twitter. You can also I'm going to use this. You can also find me in the Celeste server. Also, shout out to Mika, that I think she's watching. And yeah, if that thing is more that appeals to you, you can find me. That's it.
Yeah, a bit like Wolf. I'm not really streaming or making videos, so we can't really find me anywhere too. But we waiting. We are waiting you in the Symphonia Discord server, or just on the leaderboard, as you wish. And I'm also speedrunning several other games, narratives one and other ones like Amnesia. So yeah.
You heard it here. Esteban is a GDQ exclusive. So, but before we head to break, this is a stream and a showcase in conjunction with our partners at Head Up and, of course, Sunny Peak, where Cold Nexian is from. So I do want to share a message from the wider team, which is that Symphonia, this gorgeous musical precision platformer, which you've been watching, is available now on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and is also available for pre-order on Nintendo Switch with the release just around the corner on January 23rd. So you can step into a world where music breathes life into everything, yet silence looms after the disappearance of the Prodigies and their orchestra. In the game, you'll play as Philium, a mysterious musician on a quest to reunite the orchestra and restore harmony to the world. We've just done that in the ending cutscene. At least hopefully everything is good. We'll have to find out in the sequel. But after this break, we'll take a few minutes, and then we are going to load up an Assists New Game Plus category, as we've been talking about. This is going to let us play with a lot of different settings and a lot of fun little gameplay mechanics. It's still very much an experimental run. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go, but I'm excited to see it. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in a few minutes. I am Cutie, and we are in the middle of an amazing showcase of Symphonia, a new game from our partners at Head Up and Sunny Peak. We've seen New Game Plus, but now we're going to see Assisted New Game Plus, which is going to open up a lot of different options that we find out throughout the course of the game. We can speed up in-game time and make the game really fast. We can have all surfaces become catapults and a number of different things. This is still very much an experimental run. Esteban was kind enough to volunteer to showcase this. So we're only going to go to about the halfway point until we get to Matriach. And we're just going to kind of toy with some of the things that are possible in this game. Now, if you're interested in it, this looks fun, you want to speedrun it, there is a category dedicated to this, but it's more of a showcase of all the fun, interesting, wild things you can do in this game. We have the same group coming back that we just saw. We're still all over the world with France, Argentina, and the US. So I want to welcome the team back in, and let's go ahead and see what we can do with the assist category here. All right, well, I guess I will just keep talking. Yep. So we have Cold Nexian here, who is one of the developers from Sunny Peak. We also have Mr. Wolf, who was running in the previous race, and then of course we have Esteban, who's going to showcase everything. We've already done introductions. You know all of us. Hopefully you love all of us, or maybe at least 3 out of the 4 of us. So Esteban, Esteban, go ahead and give us a countdown of 3, 2, 1, and we'll get right into it.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck. Have fun. I'm excited.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what's going on with this category because I haven't seen that much videos from this category specifically.
Oh yeah. I should probably, if you want to do it, Esteban, or I could explain.
Yeah, you can.
Go into. Okay, perfect. Basically, in this mode, we have all the other abilities you get by recovering the 3 demons memories right from the start. So apart from getting the twirl, the grappling hook, and the double jump, we also are going to use the game speed, maybe or maybe not, that also speeds the game. And also the main start of the job, that is all catapult. And the thing that all catapult does is basically any surface, any wall, any floor, everything, it becomes a catapult, so you can use the momentum. But you might say, why use that considering just pogoing is much faster? Well, the thing is, you can actually get super speed. That's what we call it. Because there's a neat little trick that at the end of the catapult, if you finish like the animation, getting like the catapult, you get like all of your state resets, but you still keep the speed. So if you double jump, you actually gain more speed than you already have. And if you then use twirl, you get to maintain that speed. Of course, you can't like chain it. Even if you like change to pogo, you still can't maintain the speed. So you actually have to go on. But considering the fact you can skip most rooms with this, there's actually a really neat skip from an auto scroller. So little bit of spoiler there. But yeah, this category is still like really new. I think Esteban found out about this like really recently. So, but as you see, you can catapult from walls, and you also can use the grappling hook to like get to places you are not supposed to. So as you see, that double jump, you get a lot of speed from it. I think, yeah. Yes. Oh. Okay, yeah. The problem is you get a lot. Like, very much not intended. So yeah, this can happen.
It's definitely going very, very fast.
Oh yeah. Also with the game speed, like it's even harder to run. Like actually the game speed isn't necessary. It's more like a challenge run kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because the timer is also going to speed up. So you actually don't gain time from doing it. But if you run the category, you aren't going to use it probably. But for this time that we are using real time, it's quite good actually.
And if there's interest in
yes.
in expanding the categories or having a real-time equivalent for sped-up games, that's obviously something that we could do. Or in the instance of like a task, I think it'd be really interesting to run the task at 150% speed and just watch it fly through the game in 20 minutes. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be very, very smooth.
Yeah, I think that there's like a certain challenge coming from doing this at very high speed, because you could also like in the main category it's not allowed, not because of the high speed, like you could run at high speed, but because of the slow speed. Because the slow speed not only like slows you down, it also slows down the timer. So you're technically having an advantage that is like boring. So we decided to not allow this in the runs. But yeah, in this type of runs, you can actually use it, and it's quite helpful. Also, I should really like say that congrats to Seban for actually learning this so quickly.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to like offer myself, but after seeing what you need to do, it's quite scary. Like just to play it at 150% speed is already troublesome, but also with new tech, it's even harder.
And I think we're at 130% for this one.
40.
Oh
40,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We're all wrong.
But yeah, it's very spartaning. Even as a developer, I didn't use that feature that much, so it's quite impressive to see people managing to keep up to that speed, and because there is very, very much a lot going on at this speed.
And I love that the game is keeping up with it too. There's no tearing, there's no animation glitches or anything. Like it's able to run at this speed.
Yeah, it was quite surprising, because when we implemented the feature at first, we expected to see a lot of game-breaking things going on, but not that much. So we didn't made any huge adjustments just for these game options. So that was quite good.
I cannot believe you didn't die there.
Yeah,
that was very, very smooth.
Quite close. Yeah. Also, like, yeah, I should mention, even if you can get super speed here, like, you could say, oh, you can take like 10 frames there if you use super speed. The main problem is like, at that high speed, and also like having like the super speed on top of it, it's really difficult to maneuver. Like, yeah, for example, you can use it here because it's just a long room. But in some rooms, it's like you need to completely react to things really fast. So yeah, it's not really viable.
Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
A lot of reflexes going on.
And with this
Oh.
being our last run and our last category for the showcase, one thing I want to offer to chat, since we do have, Cold here, a developer of the game. If anyone in chat wants to do a Q&A, if you have any burning questions that we haven't already covered about the game or its development or what might be next for the studio or anything else like that, throw them into chat. I will relay them. But I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone who has anything that they want to ask directly.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions.
There's a little bit of
Oh, yeah,
a delay
I
with
forgot.
chat, but in 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also like, this, I'm not sure. Oh, we're right. Good on me. I mean, yeah, in this section, right, even though you don't have the violin, you, for some reason, have the grapple and the trio. It doesn't help by much in the normal categories, but in this category,
Oh,
it helps
you
a
can
lot,
skip
as you can
that.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the hook, basically, because the game wasn't designed, need skip there. The game wasn't designed to have the hook here. It doesn't come into play in normal categories, but considering you can just grapple everything. For example, here, I know it's done by just to be consistent, but you could, for example, grapple the roof and just go flying. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice skip.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, I love
Too
it.
bad. Crushed
was so
between
close.
between moving platforms.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that would,
Oh, yeah.
that would kill.
Yeah, there are some instances
Yeah.
in the game that you can be crushed between platforms.
Oh yeah, I should also mention it right now, but I actually found while practicing that you can actually move the blocks if you get crushed in a certain way. It's quite a funny bug, but yeah, I just found it. But yeah,
So are there any fun little stories about the development or anything that we haven't covered yet? Were there any things that happened during it being a student project, or late nights, or deadlines, or any funny little stories that you want to share?
I mean, I've already shared some. I don't know if I have other that came to my mind. The scamming part of the student project was quite surreal. For example, but yeah, I can share maybe this one. For example, one of the gameplay options you are seeing right now was just a joke at the beginning. For example, the all catapult and all bouncing thing that lets you catapult, stick, and bounce from any surfaces came first as a joke that we maybe wanted to try one day, and we tried it and spent like a day or so to just try it around, etc. And we find it quite funny, so we kept it in the game, thinking that it would be fun to have the player play around it with it. But of course, it breaks some of the rooms quite easily, and some players find it before us.
oh yeah, I should point out that isn't like the speed of the game, or you're just going that fast. It's quite game break. I mean, it would have happened even without the variants of all catapults, because of this happens with all catapults in general. But yet you don't have the double jump in a lot of these rooms, so it doesn't make much sense.
Chat is wondering if there are any musical challenges to putting this together. We talked a little bit about how you did a live recording for the final game, the full game. Were there any particular musical challenges, whether that's implementing them into the game or figuring out how they fit story-wise, or with the recordings themselves, or anything like that?
Apart from the recording for the OST of the game, we had some troubles to implement correctly the music for the cutscenes. For example, when you go to a small cutscenes with one of the prodigies, you have a small music going on that accompany that follow the actions, just like a little how to say it, a little scenery with music going on. That we've been inspired by some old pieces, and we wanted to have the music to follow the cinematics smoothly. But sometimes the transition between the in-game music and the cutscene music without having black screens was quite finicky to make it work because of FMod and using Unity with this. So this one specifically was a challenge alongside with getting everything recorded live for real orchestra.
And where was the live recording done? Was that done in France?
Yeah, it was done in France, in the main region around Paris called Région Île-de-France. So it was an orchestra running around for the region. We got into contact with Scoring Productions, with third parties that is just doing the relation between us and the orchestra team, because we didn't interact all of the time directly with the orchestra. We had people going around and try to make the thing easier for recording it.
Yeah, this room is quite fun.
Yeah.
Going to mention this.
Yeah, it is.
But especially at high speeds, because you can go with the right path. It's just too much.
The last room of woodwinds at this speed might be very, very hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're over here just talking about the game. Esteban is fighting for his life in this challenge run.
You can do it.
I'm struggling.
Oh, so close.
Oh, that was so close. Yeah, I think the hardest part isn't
Nice.
Oh, there it goes. Nice. Oh.
I
That's
like how
good.
you just get to skip all the auto-scrolling stuff.
Not this one. We need to wait.
You just have to deal with the speed here.
Yep.
Yeah, I found I'm not sure if it was intended, but yeah, that's it. There's a lot of mini skips here and are quite cool. Technically, you can skip this one. Like that. Oh, nice.
I never saw this one. It's quite nice.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them has been intended, but clearly not all of them. So it's quite cool to just see them for the first time live.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, getting those 4 are actually quite hard, and even with more game speed, I can't even do them most of the time. That's quite nice. Oh yeah, I should probably I don't think it was mentioned, but here Esteban is going to go to the left to despawn the trickster and do this faster. But this is actually not what we do in one. We actually go to the main menu because that's 1 second faster in game time. But because this is a showcase, we didn't want to wait a lot of real time, even though it actually saves 1 second in an actual run. But yeah, it's a quite little trick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and this was also found by Steven, I think. I actually...
Another great question from chat just came in. Are there any Easter eggs in the game?
There are little ones, but it's the oldest sort of Easter eggs. I don't want to share them. I just want people to discover them. But yeah, there are small ones.
Is there an actual Easter egg? Like an actual Easter egg, not a metaphorical one?
No, there is not an actual, not metaphorical egg in the game.
Okay. You never know.
Oh.
Sometimes there are.
Or you could see the heart of Symphonia as an egg if you want, but it's not the first intention.
That was interesting. It looked like the button prompt for twirl didn't show up there.
Yeah, it's a bug that's been going on.
It's because of my input, I believe. Because twirl is
quick.
on my middle mouse button, and so it doesn't show up.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen you run the game on keyboards and with the mouse preset.
Yes.
That's quite unique.
Yes.
We had these controls for the student games going on because we mainly had the controls going on controller, but we also had them on the keyboards. But I remember at the time we didn't have time to implement a customization for the inputs, binding inputs, etc. So we just had the game going on R30, and when the game came out, a lot of the complaints were about, I don't want to play an R30. Why can I play in QWERTY? And we couldn't make a new version because it was a student project. So we had to have the approval of the school for that. So we just laid around not being able to play in QWERTY.
Yeah, I had to have the French. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We didn't know that a lot of people will play the game, and yeah, we didn't have the time.
Yeah, that makes
This
sense.
game helps you learn French at the same time.
I'm not sure if having an AZERTY keyboard instead of QWERTY one will help you with that. I mean, French is quite a hard language to learn.
Sadly, I only know a bit of Spanish, but
Spanish is good.
meanwhile, Esteban is just like flying.
I'm
through
focusing.
this.
Fighting for his life.
Yeah, actually, this is a really good place.
And like I said at the start of this, this is still very much an experimental run, an experimental category. We're kind of toying with some of the things that you might be able to do in the game, both casually if you want to bounce off everything, but also what might be possible in a speed run. And when you do things like this, you might find new glitches, you might be able to break things because obviously the game is not really designed for this. So there's a lot of fun things that can be done in this category, and we're only scratching the surface of what's available here.
Oh yeah, especially I want to pay a point that the these ropes that it is can be quite a buggy point. It's not something that comes up in casual like it used to be, but most of the glitches were fixed. But yeah, there's really precise glitches that allow you to go through ropes, or as I showed before, with the launching pads and go through them. And that's why I'm so excited to have the task from Rising Star whenever they do it, because all of those things can be exploited, even if they are not.
One thing I'm noticing
Yeah.
right here is the cutscene is not sped up, is it?
Yeah, it isn't.
No, it isn't, yeah.
So the end game clock is sped up here, or is it going regular speed
No.
as well?
It's back to regular, I believe.
Oh, interesting. So it adjusts.
We didn't took into consideration the game speed and the timer as two features going on as a whole. So it was quite a mistake or just a forgotten feature on our side. So yeah, it can the timer can just goes around and goes to normal during cutscenes and goes back to speed to when you go to 100, 140.
Is there, I meant to ask this earlier, is there any background behind the symbols that are chosen there? Obviously, for anyone who hasn't caught on to it, we're playing a melody to open the door. That's kind of one of the puzzles here. But there's a different symbols. There's kind of a wave and a heart and different things. Is there any particular background to those?
To be honest, I don't think so. We had the first iteration for the symbols that was quite nice, but that was very complicated shapes, very hard to remember. So we changed them to have them to the simpler form, and I don't think we had any meanings around that. We just found the shapes funny and cool.
I mean, a lot of the best stories start that way, don't they?
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
You tried.
okay, yeah. Yeah, there's a skill there. If you manage to go through those two platforms, you can actually have it go around. It's quite precise. Also,
Good.
don't worry. Yeah, I should try this guy. Yeah, we're going to see like a little bit. For me, what's the best with this category? Because you can like skip a whole auto scroll, and it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You might need some ibuprofen at the end of this run because it's going very, very fast.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're running multiple categories of this game, I imagine that the speed is kind of messing up the movement and button inputs and things that you're used to doing, because now it's going 40% faster. So Esteban, who just did a race at the New Game Plus category, is now having to do everything 40% faster. And so that's going to, of course, play with your controls and everything a little bit.
It's the case. It's more when you go back to 100% speed, the normal speed. It's very weird.
It feels very weird to have just some cutscenes going around at normal speed and just go back to full speed gameplay.
We'll call it the Fast and Furious category, I guess.
It's up to the runners.
Okay, I think I'm getting confused with the rule. I don't.
It's after the scripts that you found when you spawn the platform with Trial. I don't know how to say it. Explain it. Just before the Matriach.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's happened. Also, yeah, I was going to. This is why I like that you can use the hook with the room. Because there's the normal skip. We're going to back. Well, I should mention, that's close for one. I found it by accident. Even if you die here, like, for example, because for some, nice, but that jump is like so hard. I don't know why. But yeah, even if you die, the door like open, because I think it confused the game. And actually, if you go back and play the same, I think just doesn't know what to do. But yeah, it's a quite cool.
Yeah, it is a bug that the door is still open after that. But yeah, I know the jump can be quite tricky because it requires you to not do a full jump. So that's why.
Here's the skip.
Ooh, very nice one.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's easy when you respawn, and I don't have the timing yet for just when you arrive. Oh,
You get the death cycle.
yep.
Oh. Yeah, also a hard part of like lobby, like routing, how you do the mostly because you want to like have the same cycle as you have like when you enter the room, you have to re-enter. And most of the time you actually have to emulate how you enter. So yeah, in some rooms it's quite easy, but for example, again, imagine that you have to re-enter and
This room at high speed is wild.
yeah,
It's
chaotic.
frightening.
So I don't know if I actually asked this, but what are the falling stars or meteors or whatever? What are they representing, or what are they actually in game?
I mean, they're just meteors, are they not?
Okay.
We don't have a full explanation for them because they came in quite late during the book. Whoa, I've never
Wow.
seen this one.
That's the
Wow.
one that Mr. Wolf did earlier that I asked you about. But to see
Yeah.
that done so smoothly at high speed is
Yeah,
I didn't saw it.
actually,
Oh,
I'm not sure how you do that. How you did that without the set.
I think that was the YOLO setup. He just,
Yeah,
he just
kinda.
went for it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. That was
Quite
very
nice.
smooth.
Yeah. I was theorizing, like trying to find out why that. I think that has like positive variant. Like it somehow the hook goes through the cushion and keeps going, but it also registers
And it will be
getting the
time
cushion. So
right now.
Nice.
Nice, GG.
that's
Gee, that was incredible. For a quote unquote experimental run, I know I've been trying to undersell it. You destroyed that. That was so smooth. I think you could do the rest of the game. Maybe not today, but you could do
Yeah.
the rest of the game.
I already tried to
yeah. Was quite
learn it, but it's quite hard.
Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, it was quite a fun run.
Well, as we are, this is the last run of the showcase. So as we're watching the cutscene, oh, I guess it's not a cutscene. I guess you're just jamming right now. Is there any anything else you want to talk about the game? Anything that you want to say about the runs or the work that you've been doing? First Esteban and Wolf, and then we'll go a little bit with Cold.
No, I mean, I would really like appreciate, and I think everyone here, if you give it a try, not only for helping the developers that they did a job, but also it's a really fun game. And also, I should mention there's more categories because there's a lot of collectibles in the game. So we have a separate categories that are almost 100%. So if you like longer runs that are more like chill but also like competitive, that's you can also find all out or somewhere in the speed like middle. Yeah, that's
I agree with Wolf. It's a very fun game. I love the music. I love the scenery, yeah, and the environment. So I would love people to try it, not only for speedrunning it, but just trying this game, this amazing game. Yeah.
And like I said earlier, the language of music really transcends nationalities and languages. We have currently here people from 3 continents, but we also have runners in Japan and other things. So if you are looking at this, if you're watching it, know that it is really accessible. It is really universal and really fun to play. I do want to toss it over to Cold if there's anything else you want to say or talk about or anything for the audience before we start to wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very thankful for all the people that's been playing the game and run the game, speedrunning it, etc. And I want to thank you, all the members of the GDQ and Head Up to make it a thing. It's quite surreal to imagine that one of the game I participated in was going to be in GDQ. I can't comprehend it. That's quite cool.
Well, amazing. Well, thank all of you for joining us. I know that you have been with us for a few hours. We are doing this showcase in conjunction with our friends at Head Up and Sunny Peak, who Cold is a member of. So I do want to share a message from the team, which is that Symphonia, this gorgeous musical precision platformer that you've been watching for the last few hours, is available now on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and is available for pre-order on Nintendo Switch with the release just around the corner on January 23rd. Depending on where you are, that may be 3 or 4 days, so not that far away. So you can step into a world where music breathes life into everything, yet silence looms after the disappearance of the prodigies and their orchestra. In the game, you'll play as Phylium, a mysterious musician on a quest to reunite the orchestra and restore harmony to the world. We've seen that done a few times here today. I think that this game is absolutely incredible. I said it a little bit earlier on the stream, but it is so important to support your indie developers, support your indie communities. These developers have really been active in the Discord, active in the community. I've loved to see them going back and forth with everyone. So if this looks like something that's up your alley, or if you're even just mildly interested in it, definitely check it out on one of those platforms. I played through it myself a number of different times. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, music transcends borders, languages, and other things. So it's just an incredible topic and an incredible thing to get a chance to play through. I really enjoyed it, so definitely do not miss out the chance for that. It's been a bit of a long string, so I do have a number of thank yous, but I want to make sure that I thank all of our runners, all of our commentators, whether it was Portal 2, Cuphead, Celeste, Symphonia. Thank you all so much for being here. I have to give the biggest of shout outs to Ray, my production partner, and all of their hard work. I think we've been live for 6.5, 7 hours, and I absolutely could not do any of this without their hard work. And especially today, juggling all of the streams and everything that is going on, just so appreciated for everything that they do. And then last and certainly not least, Head Up and Sunny Peak for one, not only making and publishing such a great game, but giving us the opportunity to showcase it here and hopefully bring awareness to a wider audience that will love and appreciate it as much as many of us players have. So with that, I've been Cutie. I will be back with my regularly scheduled programming, Perilous Paths, in about a week and a half, a week from Monday. So definitely check out Hotfix, check out everything that we've got going on. Sorry, it's been a long stream and I'm losing my train of thought. But that's it for me. I will get out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, a wonderful rest of your week wherever you are. But take care.